My bitches all bad, my niggas all real. I ride in dick and some big tall hills, big fat checks, big large bills, run out flip like 10 car wheels. Cold ass bitch, I give raw chills, 10 different looks and my lips so kill. I kiss him in the mouth, I feel all grills, heat in the car, that's wheels on wheels. Woo! I was born to flex, yes. Diamonds on my neck. I like boarding jets, I like more than sex, but nothing in this world that I like more than checks. Money. All I really wanna see is the money. I don't really need a D, I need the money. All a bad bitch need is the money. I got bands in the coop, bustin' at the roof. I got bands in the coop.
Good evening and welcome to Conversations with Taz. Before we get into this evening, I do want to give my sincere apologies due to last night. We did had to cancel at the last minute due to unforeseen circumstances, but we are back and we're bigger and better than ever. And tonight you're going to get a 2-for-1 because I always keep my word. Last night was supposed to be Minority Business Manor, and I do have that guest, the lovely Eb_ready, and at 10:30, we're going to break into Freeform Friday, and Eb has said that she's going to stick with us. But without further ado, let me bring the woman of the hour on, Miss Eb Ready.
Hi.
Yeah. Introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, gosh. I'm Ebony. I'm Eb_ready on TikTok. I have my own business, Ebony Rose Expressions, LLC, and Eclectic Polymath on Etsy. I ain't that special, just regular and shit.
Yeah, regulars here. But let's get into your business and let's start with the products that you have that are available.
Okay, so on my website, I do more of a merch thing, kind of like some funny things I say on TikTok because apparently people like them. So I do that. But a lot of my products are geared towards inclusivity, Black women especially. I have phone cases, shirts, jewelry, that sort of thing. And on my Etsy, I do custom, rolling trays, tumblers, necklaces, stuff like that. A lot of epoxy work, candles and whatnot.
So I have seen a few of your lives where you are letting your creative juices flow and giving us kind of a behind the scene look at how it does. And let me tell you, first of all, you're incredibly talented.
Oh, thank you.
I could never. I've watched, and first of all, it's y'all, let me give you a warning. If you watch one of her lives where she's creating, don't have anything else to do because you will get caught up in it. It is very fascinating. But what made you decide to get into resin work?
So my business initially started with I was making shirts. I did like a lot of family reunions, sad to say funerals, things like that. And I thought that's where my business was going to be at. But then, as you go on and you find out, new skills, things like that. So I did a little bit of everything. I've done like makeup, I've done candles, but I found resin, and I'm not even going to lie, on TikTok. And I saw people making, I've always known about like tumblers, but that's not what I started with. What kind of got me was like the rolling trays and seeing how they made them and that sort of thing. And I said, you know what? I'm about to try that shit. And then I did. And it's like, I absolutely, by far, this is the my most favorite, I think, of anything I've ever done within my business. So I'm kind of stuck here and I like it.
Is it more of like the hands-on aspect, like part of your creativity, part of you goes into it? Do you think maybe that's part of what it is?
I think that for me, and it sounds crazy to say, but for me, I think I've spent the majority of my life always doing something else for somebody else. So being able to start something literally from nothingness and make it into something that people actually like, it's different than doing a shirt. It's different for me than doing a candle. It's like you literally start with nothing. You start with this liquid, and then it turns out to all these things. It's like fulfilling. I know it sounds crazy, but
no, I completely understand, because like for me with my business, it's the one absolute that I have control over.
Yes.
No one can take it from me. No one can dictate things for me. I can get as creative and crazy as I want to, or be as reserved as I want to. But I do want to ask you specifically, as a woman of color, have there been any challenges or hurdles since starting your business?
For me, I'm going to say that I find that, let alone whether you're a woman within itself or a woman of color, I find that it's a lot of times just difficult in general for people to take you serious. I feel like I don't even know how to put it into words, because of course I will not ever experience the same type of I guess discrimination or hurdles that most women of color will. But in regards to things I have, it's just being a woman in general. And then on top of that, a non-white woman, you find a lot of times that your business within itself is not taken seriously. Therefore, your work can be great, but they'll go buy from somebody else before they'll buy from me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get that more so with my IT business. I'll have people go, but you're a woman, and they'll go to someone else, most notably a man, that usually I hear right before they hire that man, oh, this is what an IT god looks like. And then 6 months later, they're calling me, can you fix this? Would have been a lot cheaper just to have me do it in the first place, but yeah.
Absolutely. It's that second guessing that people do.
And I'm like, I'm not going to leave money on the table. So yes, but this is going to cost more because I got to fix somebody else's stuff. And how has social media been a benefit to your business?
I'll be honest with you. I think, and I always refer back to TikTok because that's my biggest platform. I think that's the one I devote most time to. I have literally gotten so much support and love from people on TikTok who may not have even needed anything, but just wanted to support me. And that's such a strange feeling. Like, people care about me, so I might not need it, but I'm going to buy it because it's Ebony's. You know, like that has been one of the most fulfilling things, I think, that this journey with social media and trying to get my business out there, like that has been the most fulfilling thing for me. I will say I do struggle because, you know, like there are people who have pages that are solely devoted to their products, but I don't know how to do that because all I know how to do is talk and be me. You know what I'm saying? So I think I am struggling a little bit with how do I incorporate my business without changing what I want my platform to be too. So, but other than that, like the amount of support I've gotten has been fucking amazing.
And a little birdie told me that you hit a new milestone on TikTok recently. Would you care to share that with us?
I hit 150,000 K supporters last night, which I never thought would happen. Like, Taz, when I tell you, like, I can't even believe it. Like, I can't. It's crazy to me, you know, but I love it.
You deserve it. Yes.
I literally started TikTok because my kids had it and I had to see what they were doing, but literally they don't post anything. My son does, but other than that, they don't post anything. And here I am just posting away, you know? So it's crazy to me. Like, people actually like me. Okay. I like this.
Are there new adventures that you see yourself partaking on in the future regarding business?
Absolutely. So in January, I actually quit my 9 to 5, so to speak, to work on my business. And, you know, business was doing great, but also we are in a still tail end of a pandemic. So, you know, business has slowed down, which has also kind of given me the opportunity to realize kind of what I want to do. Like, I don't know. I want to be somebody's talk show host, radio show host or something, because I like to talk, you know. So what better way to do that than to, I don't know, be in front of the camera or the microphone? So I've been working on that. So we'll see how that goes, you know.
Come on, y'all. Do it. I can hear them saying it. Do it. Ooh, the shade. Someone said, oh, did you promise to twerk at 150?
So listen, let me tell you the story. So my sister, Tasha Hylands and Courtney Carrera, it was. So my numbers were going up and they were like, okay, so when you hit that 150 milestone, you got to twerk. And me and my craziness was like, yeah, I'll do it. First of all, I ain't got no rhythm, but okay, we're not even gonna talk about that. But what I had said was, yeah, I'll twerk. So then I made my twerk video last night and they were not happy with my twerk video. It was a dinosaur.
I'm going to say, I saw it. It was a dinosaur.
It was still me twerking though. So like,
right? I would have done the same thing.
You got to be specific. All you said was that I had to twerk at 150, and technically that was me. That was me.
And for future reference, I'm gonna tell you from personal experience, don't take no more bets or any suggestions from little sis Tasha. Show how you fucked up in these streets.
Because listen, and the funny thing was, I went on Ant's Live last night, and she was like, "Where's the video?" I was like, "I just posted it." She walked in the live. She said, "Eb, you had one assignment. One assignment. You had one job." I was like, "But I did it. You said twerk. You didn't tell me. You didn't give me specifications."
Yeah.
Sis, you got to give me specifications.
Hey, you did better than me because I surely would have photoshopped my head on top of Cardi B and made it work.
I thought about it. I ain't even lie to you. I thought about it, but that would, that just took more work when I could just go on TikTok and like be the dinosaur.
Oh, and Kid Casper, look, you gotta honor your words.
Bro, not you in here carrying me like that.
We were specific. Oh my God.
Y'all were.
I gotta go with my sis on this one. I don't feel like y'all were specific. I don't feel like y'all put in fine print on this.
I need the fine print, baby. I need the fine print.
There were no addendums. There were no amendments. There was no fine print. Okay.
Exactly. Look. And then the night before, Courtney said, "You better not come with no craziness." I was like, "No, I would never." And then I posted and she was like, "Are we going to talk about this now? Because like, what were you doing?" I twerked. That's all I can say. Like, I don't know what y'all want to do.
I mean, hey.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, don't never. If Tasha goes, you should do this. Don't do it. Do like I do and go, huh? What? I think we're breaking up. It's a bad connection.
I'm gonna tell you this now. Tasha's not gonna take that.
I do it all the time, and then she'll call back, and I'm like, I'm not falling for it.
Not Lady Bird.
She needs to twerk with Blue the only time I was.
You mean like tonight? Because that's not gonna happen.
Because Shemaine and Blue will twerk on this show.
And literally, I feel like I've seen them both do it. So, like, no, I'm gonna sit here and look.
Wait a minute, Kit. We're not supposed to watch twerk videos. You good for that? All the dusty dudes on your TikTok.
Listen, I try to tell people. See, I'm older. I try to explain to them. So when, I also attribute this to being like half white. I always blame my non-rhythm coming from over there. But I'm not going to make a fool of myself. I two-step, and I can two-step to anything. But you ask me to twerk, that's a lot. That's
Baby,
a lot.
we over 40. We ain't twerking. Okay.
Listen, I can't because Tasha said literally her only stipulation was one down, one up. I said, if I get down, I'm not coming back up. Like, I've never had mega knees. Like, I can't do that.
We had our time with, what was it, doing the butt and all that.
First concert I ever went to was EU. I'm just saying.
Oh, you decided to just jump out there and turn up immediately.
And did. But it's still this new age twerking
You said
stuff.
the gas, not the brakes.
I'm saying. All gas, no brakes.
Kid Casper, we are both over 40. Somebody need a birth certificate.
He says that all the time. Like, I'm literally. I still can't believe you're older than me, though.
Yeah. All these these my kid. Well, that's my mama. But these my children's around here. They old. They are old. They are elderly, you all. I am not, but my children are elderly.
Listen, Lady Bird, I can't.
And Blue talking about I got your back. We gonna twerk tonight.
I'm gonna tell you what. If I twerk tonight, I'm gonna be in the bed for 3-4 days. So we're not doing that. We is not.
And since my son just told me that he and my oldest daughter have invited themselves, my dad, my brothers, and their siblings to my house on Sunday, we can't be twerking because evidently folks is dropping off food for me to cook, including my dad, who touts himself as the grill master, because I made the mistake on Memorial Day making some ribs and letting them know that I could grill ribs. I fucked up. I've been having that skill for years.
We just on a different level of things than some people. I wish I could go, drop it like it's hot, but yeah, we're gonna drop it and it's gonna come up cold.
I'm at that level in my life where I will pay you to drop it like it's hot.
Yes, all day, because I can't do it.
I will drop them dollars like it's hot. That's what I would do. That's
that part.
I promise you that. Now, on your journey to becoming, the next TV show host, a radio show host, how are you preparing yourself for that?
And it's going to sound funny. Okay. So I always take it back to TikTok. And I say that because it's my practice to get to a point where I'm so comfortable speaking in spaces that I normally wouldn't, i.e. in front of a camera, in front of, just having people watch me just talk, because I've always been the person to say exactly what I want, but I would often alter what the fuck I say. Often alter what I say to accommodate the audience, right? So I use TikTok as my practice to just be so unapologetic in what I'm saying and how I'm saying it and why I'm saying it, so that if I'm ever afforded the opportunity to do it in the setting in which I want to, I'm comfortable. I have also been looking into, there's these sites that you can have radio shows where you also play music and you talk and those sort of things. So I'm just kind of in the process now of like narrowing down which is the best for me. I do have a really good friend of mine who is kind of helping me get my like audition tape together to send off to people to like see me, I guess, more or less. So baby steps.
I'm just saying, if you need that good CVV, hit me up.
It will.
Because we have a lovely little brother that was trying to get into a Nerf competition, and I actually did 2 versions for him. He liked it. I'm just,
It will. And it will.
In case you just need that. And I do think practicing on TikTok is a great idea. As crazy and as nerve-wracking as TikTok can be at times, TikTok has been great, I think, especially for women of color, and us finding our voice and our unapologetic voice. Because I notice in my comment section as well as yours, especially when we're truly being unapologetic, it's when we get the biggest response from people, where people are like, oh my God, I was thinking that. I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said it the way that you did. Because I don't think a lot of people realize, not just as women, but as women of color, we're conditioned and we're raised to be a little bit more meek. We're raised to code switch so much to make everybody else comfortable while we sit in discomfort. But why don't we get into some of your products, like your favorite products and your best sellers, so that people know, what to look for, where to find it, and if you have any specials or anything going on, because 'tis the season to shop.
It is. It definitely is. So I definitely want to say, if I can, I have an actual raffle that ends at 11:59 tonight. It's in my bio, or my Beacons link that is in my bio under Roots of Existence promotion. It's a shirt, it's a tumbler, and it is a phone case, which is my Root of Existence shirt, which the tumbler would have the same design and the phone case would have the same design on it as well, which is one of my absolute favorites, because I'm a firm believer that all life came from a Black woman. So that's why I wanted that one to be my first raffle, giveaway, donation type thing. And with that, it's any donation $1 and over, which is in my bio, put you in the running, and I actually announce it tomorrow as to who won the 3 items.
So exciting. So you all get there. Don't forget, it's at eb_ready on TikTok. Make sure you get there. You said the Beacon link in your bio.
Yes.
Those donations rolling in.
I mean, come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
And whoever does win, please put up a video. And if nothing else, can you tag me in it so I can do my happy dance behind this? I'm not doing my happy dance on camera. I do my happy dance behind the scenes. because the happy dance is nothing pretty. Okay, there's no rhyme or rhythm to it. It just makes me feel good. And it probably looks like something is horribly wrong with me, but whatever. Everybody has that inner happy dance.
Absolutely. And the thing is, it's our happy dance. So it doesn't have to look appealing to everybody else. As long as we're happy when we're doing it.
Now, I know that looking through your product line, it is very rooted and encompassing of you as a 4D person. Because I know a lot of people just look one dimensional. And can you kind of tell everyone how you got to that point to say, you know what, this is what I want to represent, and I want to represent all aspects of me?
So for me, definitely the point I'm at now in my business is not where I was, I'd say even a year and a half, 2 years ago. I think for me, I always tried to find things that people would buy, which as a business owner, that's what we want to do, right? But for me, it's very important to now in all aspects of my life, whether it's business, whether it's social media, whether it's parenting, whether it's anything, to be so representative of the things that I believe in, whether it's going to make me money or not. Don't get me wrong. Do I want money? Yes. But never in the pursuit of money do I want it to be at the expense of what I believe, what I feel, or who I am. So a lot of my products, especially on my website, I always try to pick things that are indicative of things I believe in, people whom I love, or just me in general. So like you'll see a lot of things like when I'll make things that are like little funny sayings and shit that I say,
Yeah.
But outside of that, there is I do have merch that is forthcoming and there now, like that is referencing the LGBTQIA community, because there's so many people I love who are part of it, who before I put products out, I reference them first because I'm not a part of that community. I don't feel that I'm comfortable enough to make products just to sell to make money off of, where I have not spoken or referenced someone whom I love who is. And the same thing with the if you'll look, there's a lot of shirts and things that reference Black women. Being unapologetic in your Blackness. I don't know, just things that are like really important to me as a person, because like when I wake up in the morning, like what you see on TikTok is what I am every day. So building a business that is not where I want it to be yet, but in the process of being there, I want to make sure that I build it in a manner that is so indicative of who I am. You can see it in whatever I offer.
And see, that is beautiful and that is wonderful, because I know that from a lot of sales classes that I've taken and business classes, that traditionally white people are taught to basically brand their business with their name to make it a legacy. But the products aren't necessary legacy or ancestral. And I am so proud, just as a woman and as a woman of color, to see so many women like you that are not just making it a legacy in name, but making it a legacy in product and in service. Because a few other little birdies told me ordering from Ebb is so easy. It's so pleasant. Customer service is so great. And she answers all your questions so quickly, because it's tearing down that stereotype that, one, as a woman, you can't give customer service. And two, as a non-napkin American, people just automatically assume that we give bad customer service. And I'm like, you only see yeast yardigans as Karens. You don't see backyard barbecue Barbara out there acting a fool. You don't. I'm just
I think too, but you know what it's funny about that? Like we laugh and joke about it, but in all reality, we live in a society where if you brand your business in a way that is indicative of who you are as a person, so Black owned, women owned, Native owned, Indigenous owned, sort of, it's automatically a turnoff for a certain demographic of people. And I have been finding that a lot here lately, where people have a problem with saying, why do we have to say it's a Black-owned business? Why do we have to say it's a woman-owned business? Why do we have to say it's an Indigenous-owned business? Without literally looking into how important it is to identify it as such.
Mm-hmm.
Because for some of us, literally our business is us. We are synonymous, like we are the same. Because we're not just trying to do, whether, I don't know if it's nails, whether it's clothes, whether it's hair, whether it's whatever, we do it with the purpose to support the communities that we are most connected with and are a part of. And that's more than sales or what any napkin Americans think, is so valuable and important to the communities in which we're a part of.
Yeah. Because just think, in 50 years, someone can be sitting there going, you know what? I think it's time for me to replace this ebony rose tumbler. And when they say your name, they can think of your face. Because how many of us hear JP Morgan and instantly get a picture of JP Morgan? How many of us hear Rockefeller and we don't? There's really nothing associated with it. And at this point, I don't even think most people even know what their originating businesses are. We know them from stadiums, buildings, coliseums that now bear their name. But the legacy that you are creating, people will go, you know what? I know, I remember. And that is the beauty of it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, dun, 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 because Ebony decided she was going to stay with us, you know, the crazies, for the crazy part of that Friday, your favorite Friday night block party. It is Freakum Friday.
Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
So
I missed you. What did you do?
But I got another surprise for the viewers. And well, I know one person on the panel knows what I'm about to say, but I know the other person doesn't. So you all know on Friday night, there are two people that are always with me, even when I have to cut the camera off because they got me cracking up so much. So let me introduce you to my new co-host, Miss Charmaine. And
Where did it? That's right. Thank you so much. I am highly, highly honored. Thank the Lord. I am highly favored. Taz, I love you. Shouts out to Lady Bird. That's my sis right there. I love you too, boo. I know you right there in the backstage. I'm kind of like shocked that y'all even wanted me to do that. But yeah, the crazy is about to get crazier. So I'm ready.
First of all, you know Bird is always in the background. She ain't let me do nothing because she believes I need supervision. I mean, I might. A little bit. But I do.
Just a midget.
Just kidding.
Don't tell the people.
Just a little bit, baby. Just a little bit.
So what have you all been up to this week? Because I know Charmaine about to bring up something. So I'm going to try to keep it calm for like 5 minutes before we
I ain't doing nothing. I'm being good this time. Well, I'm on block. I'm on block for real.
You did say that you were banned. You were blocked from like posting.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm blocked from posting videos until like the 4th. Yep, they blocked me. The bleach creatures don't like me, sis. You know they can't stand on me. They can't stand me, bro. They want me super god. They like, yo, she's starting to do too much. Let me get her out of here. It's a good thing I got a backup. They want me hella god. They're like, no, we can't stand. They're like, no, we can't stand her. She doing a little bit too much for us. That's just a little bit too much. They getting too sensitive with me.
You getting banned. You getting blocked in person. Tiger did thirst traps earlier. You know what?
I didn't even see that.
But I need supervision. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I gotta
don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'll tag you in it later.
Okay.
Not you, I ain't talking to you. But I don't know if you all
Look, it's just like what?
there is one Town House American, because I can't call them other words online. who is trying to invoke her people and her ancestors to stand up and stop letting us be so vocal and keep saying that, white people need to stop being sensitive and fight for what they
Oh, I know
believe
you
in.
talking about. I saw that too during my block vision. I saw her. I saw that.
Go
I
ahead and say
definitely
what
saw
you
that.
wanted to say.
On the rip, I really think that she needs to take a step back and reflect and deflect her decision, because honestly, like I said, and all of y'all know me very well. I've always been the destroyer of bleach creatures. So my thing is, there's only my thing is she need to understand something. It's not that we don't like white people. It's that some white people really just need to be cussed out because some of the stuff they say is totally ignorant and stereotypical and biased. That's what she's not getting. And no matter how many times we try to stay quiet, or we try to make peace, or we try to be silent about it, or we try to be coy and classy, we can only do so much. It was going to be a matter of time before we actually spoke up and spoke out against them. I mean, what more did she wanted us to do? Sit there and keep being silent and keep saying, oh, well, I have a dream and kumbaya. Nah, bro, we're not going to keep doing that. I'm sorry, we're not. Like, we're not gonna sit, just like when it comes down to EB. I love Sis to death, and the stuff that pisses me off with some of her people too sometimes is when they get on there and try to deflate her blackness. Like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna curse you out for that. Why are you trying to do on Sis blackness for? Oh yeah, she's part white too. So fucking what? She's part white. Who gives a shit? That's still a black sister. Be off with yours.
My thing is, I wish, and you all know I'm very, very, very big on this. I wish people would learn history, because if they learn history, they know that we have never sat back complacently, not once. And let me talk to the white folks here for a minute. If you were so proud to keep telling us when your family came over here, who you were related to during the Confederacy, baby, I hate to break it to you. Actually, I love to break it to you. You part black.
Mm-hmm.
Because your grandpappy and your grandmammy was going out in them fields.
That part.
And they wasn't picking tobacco, cotton, or sugar.
Can I say something?
Get it, boo.
Okay, so this is also how I think about it. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I think everybody except maybe Tiger knows me well enough to know what the fuck I'm going to say right now. I think people think that when they see me, I know what I look like. I've been looking like me for 42 years. Like, I understand the misconception, I guess, that people will get before I start talking. So I'm respectful of that. I understand there will be some black people who never think that I'm black. And that's okay, because I recognize the placement of biracial and or mixed people throughout history, right? But this whole notion that people who look like me will automatically in the house is part of the reason why there's colorism in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have people who look like me who subscribe to that and feel that darker skinned people are less than. We won't always in the house. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's so annoying when it comes to speaking about issues about black people. I know, or the black community, I know that people are not always gonna want to listen to me. And that's fine. That's fine. That does not mean that I'm gonna stop talking about it, but that's fine. But I think we need to dispel so many of these other things so we can actually get to the root of where the issues are. But if you worried about how black I am to you, you worried about the wrong thing. Just saying.
You already know, sis. I got a knife for them.
I
got
agree.
scissors right now, but sis, you know I love you to death. So you already know where my pimp hand straight shrug. You said you already know where my pimp hand be right here.
Yeah.
EB knows it. I stay when it comes down to her. I stay every time. I'm always in her comments like I wish a motherfucker would. She knows it. I wish they would. She be right there, right behind me, like, up, sis about to come in. Yup, I wish they would. Because at the end of the day, my thing is, I do not like when people try to discourage or encourage, discourage or disapprove somebody because of the fact of their race or their colorism. That does not make any sense. At the end of the day, we are all one. We all have the same platform. We all are against racism. Simple and period. It don't matter that sis is lighter than I am and I'm darker than she is. At the end of the day, she's still black though. That's the whole point. She still
And my
is.
thing is, I need people to stop fetishizing and worshiping movie characters and actors
Exactly.
and go, oh, this is Black history. And those people look just like Ebony.
You're not the only one. I
Because
need them to stop fetishizing about us.
When they watch
stop
Queen.
fetishizing about us Afro Latinos too, both mixed breed and regular. They've been fetishizing about us for a minute too.
And,
that pisses me off too.
Can we talk about this new black Christian trend that's going around the internet?
Talking about the.
Are you talking about the transracial?
Oh, that.
Oh, no, I ain't going there. I'm gonna sip this.
Oh no, not even those. I'm talking about the ones that are literally turning their skin into leather.
Wait a minute, I ain't see that one.
They do
we'll
what?
get to the hands on my knees in a minute. That's how we, Ebony. That's how we gonna twerk. Hands on my knees. See y'all, we twerk.
Lord help us, Jesus.
They take me nowhere.
Oh man, no, they're trying to hurt.
But no, for some reason, every couple of years, white people want to be black till it's time to be black, and want to be oppressed until they realize what oppression is.
Say that again. Say it again.
Yeah, say it again.
For the people in the back.
I said every couple of years, white people want to be black till it's time to be black, and they want to be oppressed until they find out what oppression really is.
Mm. That's not a lie.
I feel, and I'm only speaking for right now from what I see, okay? And I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But for me, literally everybody wants to be black until it's time to be black. They want black music. They want black dances. They want black culture. They want black hair until it's time to be fucking black.
Exactly.
It's a fucking trend at this point. That's why you have so many people who subscribe to this transracial ideology, or all of a sudden they're 0.6 mixed with something so they can claim blackness.
Mm.
It's fucking weird.
I've heard of that too. I've definitely heard of that. I know who she's talking about too. Those who be talking about some, oh yeah, I'm only 1 point blackness, bro. Okay, you 1 point blackness. Thank you. We're proud of you. That does not mean you all the way black, though. That you just 1% black. But we already knew that since you came from us. Thank you for responding that.
I guess that's what makes them transracial, because that 1%.
But you know what's funny? The amount of African Americans who don't research before they say shit. The translucent, the transparent people who don't research. Transracial within itself is a word that was devised for adoption. A set of parents who adopted a child who is not the same race, ethnicity, nationality as their own. So now it's outside the point of, I don't want to research shit. I'm just going to make shit up. I'm going to take this word because I feel I was born into the wrong race. Knowing that race, heritage, culture, things like that are tied to ancestry. And then they want to sit here and equate it to like being transgender. Do you know how offensive that is? That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. You don't wake up or come out the womb, and say, damn, I should have been black. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. But can you come out the womb and be born into the wrong body? In my opinion, yes. But you don't just not know what race is and then decide you're in the wrong one. That's not how that shit works.
It's the whole Rachel Dolezal of it all.
I want to fight her.
I
Of
was
course,
just
they're
gonna
going
say that.
to.
You took the
Of course,
word.
Hey,
they're
yo,
going
I was about to
to
say something
colonize a
else.
word. They've colonized cultures, lands, practices. Because if I see one more Anglo audacity ridden, clear, Casper viewed individual come out and try to explain our spiritualism to us, I'm gonna need all the bail money, all of it, all of them, because that's all what when people go, what is white culture? Because we understand Swedish culture, Italian culture, Irish culture. White culture is theft. I had one of my son's friends who happens to be white visiting my house one time. He got off work, had to write a paper for college. He said, yeah. I said, yeah, you can come and write your paper. He liked to sit on the floor, crisscross applesauce, and type his paper. And all of a sudden, because I was watching the movie, he looked up. He was like, see, this is why I can't trust white people. All they do is steal. I was like, Shaggy, say what? Boy, you white. But he had a point.
There are
Those
some
the type of white
people
people
who
I mess with.
Steal your idea. At this point, they're even stealing the bodies.
And the brain at this point.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I get the question a lot, why don't you like white people? First of all, my mama is a whole white woman. So for me to say that I don't like white people would be ridiculous because that's the woman who raised me. But there are so many white people, when we say things about white people, they don't get offended and they agree. Why? Because they're not the type of white person we're talking about. They understand that I don't have these characteristics that these other white bitches you talk about. So you not talk about me because I see it too.
Hey, yo, sis, what's my motto? What's my motto? I love my white people who don't fuck with my white people. You know that's my fucking motto, bro. You know that's my motto. I love white people who don't like white people. I've been saying that this whole time. That's the best white person. When they speak in their third terminology and they be like, yo, these white people ain't shit. I already know that's the white person that don't like you, that don't like your racism, that don't like your ignorance, that don't like your stupidity, that don't like that you love black culture but don't want to deal with black problems. The ones that already know, okay, you out here being stereotypical on black people, but you still over here using their trends and music. Those are the one white people I mess with. And I love every last one of them because they speak out against all of them. And the funny thing that makes me mad about it, though, is when they speak out against them, they don't even hear them either. They don't hear them. They don't never want to listen to them. They don't hear them. They sit there and don't pay them no mind. But when it comes down to us, oh, please believe they loud. They want to call us racist. They want to stereotype us. They want to make us feel like we wrong. But they keep forgetting. And then they want to turn. And then the main thing that they love to say, and this is their main one, and tell me if I'm lying, I'm flying. Oh, well, y'all causing the divide. Dude, are you serious? How we causing the divide, bro? When didn't you notice that your own people is telling you you loud and wrong, though? But we causing the divide. Mind you, it is us that's bringing all of us together for real because even they don't like you. So how it's billions of people in the world. And how are billions of people in the world, white, black, don't matter the color, all are telling you you loud and wrong for being a racist, but you're telling us we're making a divide. You sound dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Where your stupidity at?
Yeah, we got a question for Ebony. Which side of your family are you closest to? And let me just add on to the bottom, or is it equal?
So I will say this: my parents were together for quite a few years, right? But eventually got divorced. But how my mother raised me, she raised me as a child of color. So you see a lot of times where you hear people saying, being raised by a white mom is different. There's clearly a motherfucking difference. But I don't get offended when you say those differences because that's not the white mother I had. You know what I'm saying? I literally grew up in a Black Baptist church that my mother only attended one time when I got baptized because she realized that when you're raising a child who is not like you, love is not all you can give them. She could not just love me, raise me, and think that was it, knowing that there are parts of me that she knows nothing about. she put me in the spaces to know those parts, right? I will say this: I did grow up with my mother's side of the family, but I do not talk to them now, because I had no choice at that point. I will say that they were not as bad as I hear some of people say their white side of the family is. But I'm also the type of person, you can't claim to love me and then support people who don't. You can't sit here, like I will say with this whole Trump situation, there was a lot of, oh, he's this, like making all these great excuses for this bigoted ass man, but you love me, but you clearly support a man who does not. So for me, some of the family I stopped speaking to was long ago, because I got called the N-word and shit like that by them. They were my first source of knowing I was different, knowing that I was not a whole white person, you know what I'm saying, in kindergarten. But as far as my dad's side, I am familiar with like my great aunt. She was actually indigenous, but I knew their family vaguely. It's just one of those family dynamics where I was not super close to anybody. But I will have to like give my mom kudos, because she was the white woman that said, I am also raising a child who's not white. So she put me in spaces that afforded me the opportunity to know who I was. And she's also one of those white people who is like, I don't know, like, racist white people shit. She's not one of them, but she's also learning, because she does say some things like, she's also one of those people who think that Black people can be racist. So you kind of got to teach her, like, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, so that.
See, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. And we need more people to be more, inclusive of differences and be willing to teach their children and learn alongside of their children. And people, to clear up one question that people always ask me, why do I refer to my son's children as the tiny humans and my children as the big humans and my nieces and nephews as the medium humans? Because that's exactly who they are. Just because I'm older doesn't mean that I can't learn from them. It doesn't mean that I can't learn through them. Learning is a two-way street. Just because I'm older doesn't mean that I necessarily know everything. And they are still human beings with thoughts and feelings and everything else. And we have to acknowledge that. But there's one comment, let me pull it back up, that I do want to address. But I don't understand why white people want to be oppressed so badly. Here's the thing. This is just my theory. It's not that white people want to be oppressed. White people are trying to deny the impression that was derived and upheld not only by their ancestors, but by their grandparents, their mothers and fathers, and by themselves to a certain extent, to try to cover it up. Racism only exists through ignorance, and it is perpetuated through smoke and mirrors. And if somebody can gaslight you into believing that they are the victim, you can never resolve the problem and eliminate the threat. So I don't think that white people want to be oppressed. White people are using that mantra to gaslight us to keep the oppression going, because they all know that they benefit from it, whether they admit it or not, because they are very terrified of becoming the minority, because they know how they treat us as a minority, and they're not paying attention to how people of color have consistently been inclusive and haven't gone after revenge. We just want equity, the equity that should have been given to us when the foundations of capitalism within the UK and the United States were founded on the backs of our ancestors. So just be happy. We want equity. We are not like you colonizers. We are not trying to obliterate people. We know we can all live together and work together harmoniously. We just need you to figure it out. Y'all say that you are the superior. I don't understand how a genetic mutation can be superior, but do you, boo-boo? But we are still teaching you. You didn't know how to farm. You didn't even have the proper seeds when you brought us over here. You didn't know how to do nothing. You had Black women bathing you, raising your children, providing the milk, then saying we were inferior, but we're literally putting our milk into your children, teaching your children, keeping the books, tilling the fields, teaching you how to do it and rotate crops. What did you bring to the oh, that's right, disease, my bad. Disease,
polio,
pedophilia, And that's about it. That's nothing to be proud of. Like at all. But go off, I guess.
I want to add to that too. What they fail to realize, and I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. What they also fail to realize, we are the blueprint for this whole fucking nation. We built
Exactly.
everything. We built everything. We grew the crops. We built the fields, the ground you walk on, the cities and streets that you cross, the light fixtures and everything that you build in your house. It was built by us. That's what you fail to forget. It was built by us. We built it. So if you're wondering why we want reparations, we want reparations because we built it. Because it was earned from us. That's why. Even in the South is us. It's not you. It's us. What you saying? I mean, let's not forget that.
Also, let's talk about how they tell us, oh, well, go back to y'all country. Y'all don't belong here. Well, if we take everything that we built well, basically we're taking the whole country with us, so which leaves y'all with nothing, pretty much. And it's just like y'all swear we're so inferior, but why copy and do everything that we do? Why do y'all want to be us so bad? That's the question.
It's funny how the hell they say that, but it's funny how the hell
right there. Why copy us? Why steal everything from us? If you are the blueprint, if you cisgendered white pseudo Christian men, because the forefathers did not actually practice Christianity, and the Puritan faiths are still going around and operating as a cult now, trying to recruit people into their bullshit ass Ponzi scheme. Let's call a spade a spade. Christianity within the United States is no more than a Ponzi scheme, except for a handful of people who actually practice according to how they're supposed to practice. But these men set the standards and said, this is what the beauty standard is. This is what the education standard is, and everything else. We Black people started off way down here. And even when we were down here, they mimicked, they stole from us, they copied it. And as we slowly get up, they're still mimicking and copying. But I thought you said you were the standard, bruh. If you're still keeping us down here, why would you ever stoop to our level? Because you don't see us stooping and letting our knuckles drag on the ground to emulate you.
that part.
I just want the thing is, if y'all tell us to go back to y'all country, what country do y'all go back to? The caves?
No,
Cave
they go
dwellers?
underground. They go underground,
Right.
deep underground. That's where they go,
'Cause-
deep
They
underground.
don't even know where they came from.
They don't got nowhere else to
Exactly.
go for.
That whole, if you don't like here, then leave. Where the fuck is we going? Half of us, none of us asked to be over this bitch anyway. So where do you want us to go to? First, you want us to pay to find out where we came from. Then you want us to go there? Like, who's funding this? We didn't pay to get over this bitch.
Yo, what's funny is every time somebody tell me that, I'm like, bro, I'm two cultures. So where the hell am I definitely going from? I was born here in America and and I have Puerto Rican blood in my system. So where the fuck am I going for real? I'm like, either way, I'm still stuck.
Yeah,
Like,
where are you supposed to
literally.
send the vast majority of us? Are they going to dissect us? Oh, that's right. We forget those Puritan religions. We're supposed to be cut evenly, and those parts sent back to the country, to those countries. That's what we're supposed to do. Because if we're supposed to go back to our countries, y'all are so proud once again to talk about your Polish grandma who didn't speak a lick of English. But you want to tell somebody to speak English and go back to their country. How about you pack up all your shit, go dig up Mima, and y'all go right on back to Poland? Oh, that's right. Most of y'all can't go back because y'all all were already doing illegal shit and got banished. No different than the Trump family that you all now know as the Trump family. And as much as they wanted to keep going back and forth to avoid the draft and being put into the military, Germany finally said, no, America can keep you. So while y'all saying that America is full of the best, Think about who came here. We got the rejects from the United Kingdom who decided to become colonizers and do what they claimed was being done to them, to those that were indigenous to this land and indigenous to the continent of Africa. And if y'all don't stop that, but you all sold your own people into slavery. Shut the fuck up. Have you seen an old school North African? Okay. They are as clear as Shaggy and Fred from Scooby-Doo, baby. And on top of that, you all do know that the Portuguese were hiring missionaries to go through and kill and abduct people. And then when the Portuguese had the highest number of imports and exports of slaves, the English was like, I don't like those prices. Let us pirate those ships. So please tell me, when Black people were concerned about selling other people, we didn't give a shit. We had governments, we had empires, we were taking them over.
Every motherfucking
That's
thing.
what we were doing. We have always been royal. We have always been innovative. Your paper, where did it come from? Your writing, where did it come from? We were so royal that when white people found our original burial grounds, our original graveyards, because that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it a spade a spade. We're not going to call it the pyramids to make it seem less intrusive. They were so impressed by us that they thought that they could embody us by crumbling us up, snorting us, eating us, and drinking us.
Cannibalism.
To become us.
If I hear Anthony Johnson one more goddamn time, literally, when you know that white people say, well, did you know that Black people were slave owners too? That's the only motherfucker they can name.
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand how Google literally takes 5 seconds to get on this bitch, type whatever the fuck you want in it, and it will tell you what you need, but y'all come with these same goddamn talking points.
And my thing is, we're going to bring up Anthony Johnson. Yes, he was a bit of a son of a bitch because he did lie to an indentured servant and sued to get him put into a lifetime of servitude. But let's also talk about the amount of white men that were intimidated by him. Let's talk about the amount of white men that he took to court and litigated. Because one thing that Black people have always been able to do and adapt to is to learn the loopholes in order to get around them. Because if you're going to talk about Anthony Johnson, talk about Elizabeth Key. Talk about the Gabriels. These are people who sued not only for their freedom, but the freedom of other children that didn't even belong to them, because the Gabriels took on the child of another slave who was murdered by her master. They ensured that because they were free, that child would be free, and would be free not only to walk around as a headstrong, educated Black man, but inherit the money that they had amassed while the vast majority of their kinfolk were enslaved. Now, you tell me that Black people can't persevere. You can't tell me that Black people understood that in Dutch colonies they could sue, and in English colonies they could just say, yes, I want to be baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and be free without being able to read the English language. Oh, and for you genetic mutations, y'all were so ass backwards that you never learned a single language from the continent of Africa. What you would do was take enslaved Africans, teach them English, and have them translate onto you, and then look shocked when we were able to pull off so many rebellions and revolts. You had no idea what we were telling you and what we were saying to one another. You tell me what napkin American can sit down and braid a damn map into a head. You tell me what napkin American can make a song that got massa tapping their foot, but is ringing out throughout the woods, teaching our fellow brothers and sisters how to become free. You tell me a glow-in-the-dark child that could take the scraps of nothing and make delicacies out of it. They could take the necessity of survival and still have hope, because no matter what, we know we are the beginning and the end, and we are born with a purpose and never to just exist. We were not meant to be dormant. We were not meant to be complacent. So when you think that it is a new trend, that we are holding you accountable. Baby, this is why I don't say that there was a civil rights era. There was the beginning of civil rights. It has not ended. Because until I can walk into every place with my hair the way it grows out of my head, until my sisters and brothers get the jobs that they are qualified for, and still redlining, blockbustering, and we stop having a target on our back, baby, there's no end. We are just still in the midst of the fight. And right now, you have generations, not just one, generations of people that now know that we are the embodiment of our ancestors. It's just now we don't have to carry the gun of Harriet. We carry the gun of Sojourner and Philip. We are going to knock you down intellectually. We are going to take your laws down systematically. We are going to change this country into what it should have been, the people for once who built it. Sorry for my little rant, but everyone's final thoughts.
Hey, yo.
You better say that shit.
I wanted to back off something that you said about Trump. So before I do that, I gotta do one of these numbers first. You know what I'm saying? So respectfully, on my hood, we've been waiting to catch that motherfucker for a minute. And I'm gonna say that respectfully, bro. Like, if y'all really thought that we was not gonna catch that fool on sight, you got us fucked up. We've been waiting to put that motherfucker in jail, for real. That man is so disrespectful to the hood. That man is so contradicting. Y'all forgot, old boy and his whole entire fucking family tried to put New York black people who wanted to rent from his apartments with fucking respectfully for money that they earned out of their own pockets that they worked for. He said he wasn't going to even do anything he wasn't going to let us or allow us to rent from him. This is not money that we got from the government. That's what they failed to realize. This was working money. This was working black money. So he decided that, oh yeah, we're not going to do that. So they decided they wanted to sue him. So now all of a sudden, y'all want to sit here and make it look like that old boy is your savior. Listen, right here, baby. He will never be a savior to us. Never that. Let's remember that. He will never be a savior to us. He's a savior to you. He's a savior to y'all white supremacy. He's a savior to y'all stupidity and ignorance. He loves the way y'all sit there and do that. And the funny thing about it is y'all gave him his money, and what did he do? He sat there and did not give y'all money back, and he used it for his own benefit. So y'all look like the dumbest people on the fucking planet for even giving him money, and then for him to use it for his own distraction, for his own bullshit. And now y'all want to sit here and be mad and talk about some, oh yeah, but we still love Trump. Of course y'all still love Trump. Y'all the cult. Y'all part of his cult. Y'all part of what his stupidity is. That's what y'all been doing. But you know what? Let's remember this stuff. And let's remember this real well. On everything. Don't ever, ever, ever think that NYC wasn't going to catch him, though. Don't ever think that. We still going to get him. And we always will get him. Remember that.
Final thoughts, Eb?
I'm just loving it. That's all. I'm so stuck in, like, I feel like, I think for some of us, we spend so much time trying to reiterate, re-explain, damn near reinventing the motherfucking wheel when it comes to education to some of these people. Because people come with these same talking points, and it's like, I'm sorry. I mean, we all learn similar things in school, right? But at some point, we try to like learn on our own. We try to gain an education that was not afforded to everyone because, you know, they teach history in the manner in which they want history to be known, right? So for all these talking points of this certain demographic of white people to be the same, like, I don't understand. We literally spend the majority of our time saying the same shit the fuck over and over and over to different people who choose not to like take 5 seconds and literally comprehend what the fuck they're reading. And for me, it is, I do it, I find it funny because at this point, shit is comical, you know? But it's frustrating and exhausting in the same sense. It's like if I just explained this to you, the same person who saw the video, the same person who saw me say it, still chose to talk about these same talking points. So how is it that I can literally go on Google or wherever, encyclopedia, wherever, and find different information, but you can't? It's exhausting. It's fucking exhausting. And when we're trying to sit here and raise our children in a manner that this is how it is, this is how it was, but we still try to teach our children to be decent. You know, we still try to teach our children to understand true history. We still try to teach our children to be decent human beings for everybody. But we have this same demographic who is like fucking fighting it. How is shit supposed to change? How is shit supposed to change when if me telling you what is a hindrance, what is a historical reference that still is applicable today to the community that I'm a part of that hurts and hinders us, offends you, what is going to change? Nothing, because at the end of the day, what we say is going on, they're never going to believe it, no matter how much information, no matter how much historical context, reference, legitimate sources are shown to them. They're never going to fucking see it. And for me, I hate knowing that in my lifetime, in the lifetime of my children, and possibly in the lifetime of their children's children, we're still going to be in the same goddamn spot. So while things have changed, I try to reference that history is not repeating itself. It can't repeat itself until it's stopped. It's just evolving into the same type of ideologies in different time frames. The fact that we have to say black owned, the fact that we have to say that, hey, you know, school to prison pipeline, redlining, things like that. The fact that we still have to say that in 21, I don't understand. I don't understand. You have a group of people who just don't, because it doesn't affect them, it doesn't bother them. So them reading the same words we're reading or hearing the same things that we're hearing doesn't affect them. They interpret what they want. And it's exhausting. It's fucking exhausting. Literally.
And I'm glad she said something about the whole Black-owned business, because I've been dying. Because I know she knows and I know everybody knows I'm in the plus model game. So I've been dying to touch on that subject for so long. It's not even funny, because what a lot of them fail to realize is Black-owned really does not mean Black only, though. A lot of the designers that I work with and a lot of designers that I know, they actually are, especially in the plus size community, especially since I'm more of a demographic of the plus size community, a lot of these Black-owned businesses, a lot of these Black-owned designers do cater to all colors, including whites. I've been trying to touch on this subject for so long, and I've been wanting to touch on this subject because it seems like when it comes down to it, they feel like if you put Black-owned, that means, oh, well, I'm not going to get that product because it's just for Black. It's probably just only for Black people. What they do not realize is a lot of people, especially our whites and our colors as well, we give them that platform and that destruction for us to give our products, because a lot of these companies don't even like us as Black people. They've been discriminating against us the whole time. Just like Walmart discriminates against us on the regular. There's been a lot of videos about how Walmart sat there and like a couple of people, they went into the store, tried to pay items, they tried to lie about it. One girl sued Walmart and ended up winning her case because of that. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
You know, I'm glad you bring this up. And
yeah,
I think
I've been wanting to touch this subject for a minute.
But you know what? I think we should deep dive into it. And you know how we kept saying we wanted to do a Saturday expose?
Yeah.
I think you just found it for us.
Because I've really been wanting to talk about it. For real, for real. I've been wanting to talk about it. As a matter of fact, I've been wanting to do that because it makes no sense that when it comes down to somebody saying that their business is black owned. I know a lot of black owned designers who did cater to not only giving us a safe space as black people, but they also do take white people as well. There's white models that they use for that same demographic. That's what they don't know, to advertise their clothes and their products. That's what they don't know. And it's sad that they don't even know that or even saw that. And I've been wanting to touch on that. That's why I can't wait till TikTok unblocks me so I can touch on it.
Yeah, but
Because I
it's
got
gonna be tomorrow, you guys, or next Saturday. But we'll sit down after the broadcast because you all wanted a Saturday expose from us. And the new co-hostess with the mostest just came up with it for y'all.
sure enough did.
And Tyga, let us know your final thoughts for the evening.
Well, my final thoughts of I want to say, Ebony, it's nice to finally meet you. You are a very beautiful lady, and I'm so honored to finally meet you. I see you on TikTok all the time. My final thoughts to reiterate on what she said. As far as them not understanding and us having to reiterate and constantly pound this into their head of what's really good. So basically, I feel like my personal opinion, we can continue to pound this shit into their heads. They're not gonna want to hear it or see it because they don't want to come to terms that this is reality, that we are the beginning and the end, and that's just point blank. Period. They don't want to come to grips because it's gonna tear down everything that they have learned and everything that they have ever thought of, as far as school, everything. So technology, all that stuff, like it's gonna make them look dumb. So with that being said, we could try to reiterate as much as we want, but some of them just not gonna want to hear because they don't want to accept it because they don't want to be come to terms with the reality.
I completely agree. My personal stance is I'm old enough, and outside of my obsession with history and teaching on it, I know one thing. The greatest tools we have right now is what we're doing. We now have the internet, we have social media. It is easy to convince somebody that their parents' way of thinking, their grandparents' way of thinking is true when they have no contact with anyone else, when they can't watch anyone else. We have the ability to finally show people that one, BIPOC people are not a monolith. Two, that stereotypes are nothing but stereotypes and racial tropes have no basis in reality. And for BIPOC people and white folks who just want to learn, some of you know from TikTok, some of you have come and watch this show, and I'm very thankful and very humbled that you do from different avenues and have no idea what else I do because you don't see me anywhere else. But on Saturday mornings, myself and my big brother, Lloyd, DA_select on TikTok, we have a book club, and it's not your regular book club. He goes through chapter by chapter, just giving overviews. Of course, I am the history person. I'm the person that reads all of the reports that are noted in the books, all of the things. And right now we're doing 400 Souls. And just to give you all a reference, these are my notes so far. These are some of the references for tomorrow, including a printout from the government as to slave codes that used to be in existence, and the fact that I was able to pull that some of these were never outlawed. Also on Wednesday night, and Shemaine has joined me, I do a full-fledged class where I teach people using Black literature and pulling out the history from that. So if you want to break away from the ignorance, there are resources other than Google. There are conversations that need to be had and should be had, and don't feel bad about having them. On this page, there is a discussions tab. There are questions up there that will challenge you, and you can ask me whatever, and I will help you as best as I can and lead you through. In the upcoming months, there will be a series of people coming on teaching you and letting you know about books that you can read to further the education that you have or to begin the education that you should have had. But let me leave you on this. The amount of degrees that I've worked for have done nothing for my life as to what I have chosen to learn on my own. Because no matter what you get in a structured school, it is going to be whitewashed. It is going to be tainted to make you feel less than. Because when you feel less than, you will play follow the leader. And as always, I want to thank my co-host and my lovely, wonderful, beautiful guest. Thank you as always. And like I always say, each one reach one, each one teach one. And Tiger, I'm about to kill you when we get off of here. Till next week, you guys. Bye.